Perched along the coastline of Ireland are Martello Towers. They're remnants of the past and a reminder of the fear that England had that the Napoleonic forces would attack them from Ireland. So these towers were built all along the coast. Most are in ruins nowadays, maybe some in use here and there. But here to tell us about how she's transformed one of these amazing towers in North Dublin is Terry Prone.
And he drove all the way out here, which seemed to me 110 miles, and drove in and said, "You always wanted to live in a Martello Tower. This one is for sale." And by a wonderful coincidence, the previous week, we had sold our first company, Car Communications. So for the first and only time in our lives, we had money to do something crazy, and we did. Now, the Martello Towers of Britain and Ireland were the biggest, most costly mistake that the British Admiralty ever made. Admiral Jervis bombarded a town in Corsica, Cape Mortella, they bowdlerized the name, and it took him 3 days to bring down the tower that was guarding Cape Mortella. And he went on land to find out why. And the why was pretty obvious. First of all, the walls on the seaside were 9 feet thick. Good. 9 feet thick.
You see.
And the other, that'll take a lot of cannonballs. And the other thing is that it seems obvious now, but roundy surfaces are more resistant to cannonballs than flat surfaces. So he came back and said to the Admiralty, "Lads, well, whatever was the equivalent of lads, we are expecting Napoleon to come by sea, and this is what we need to guard the coasts of Britain and Ireland." And the Admiralty said, "Dead on," and they built 74 of them around the south and east coasts of Britain and Ireland, and they did it all in a 5-year period. And they did it, now you tell me if I'm telling too much, they did it in the most incredibly arrogant way. They sent out a general plan and said, "This is what you need to do." But they also said to the people on the ground, "Don't bother your ass getting the landlords. We'll deal with them later. Just take that promontory, that island, that headland, and build on it." All of the towers are alike, and each one is unique, as you'll find as you go through this one. The one on Ireland's Eye, for example, is twice as big as this one because it had to sustain a cannon that was bigger. They built them so that the cannon's arcs almost met, so that you couldn't get a ship in between them. And they also roasted the cannonballs, because apparently you wanted hot cannonballs to hit the sails to set fire to them. I didn't know that. So Brian will show you the place upstairs where they roasted them. They eventually lost interest in them because Napoleon went to Russia. And they eventually, some of them, came into private ownership. We don't know why. There is one called Hicks Tower between Portmarnock and Malahide. It has a pointy roof on it, but it is a Martello. There's one on Portmarnock Beach that apparently has 3 apartments in it. There is one that we looked at buying but didn't because it had nowhere to even park a car. In Red Rock and in Sutton. Yeah. And they did, oh my God, they did the most beautiful job on it. And you can have it on Airbnb. What's the price of one house? 1,500 quid a night. And it's booked up until November next year. So we bought this place. The room you're standing in was a big dirty double garage. And I said, "This is going to be my kitchen." And it worked out pretty well. We did have a ferocious woman from Fingal County Council, a conservation architect. She's actually lovely, but she was terrifying in the beginning. She's about 8 feet tall, hard hat, reinforced boots. And she would just arrive and we were just scared of her. I'll show you the first place where we had an encounter with her.
That was Terry Prone, one of Ireland's best known communications experts and writers, sharing how she and her late husband Tom Savage came to own one of these iconic Martello Towers. Along with their son Anton, they saw potential in the heavy stone structure and over time turned it into a private sanctuary, a home filled with character, history and heart. The main tower room feels more like a hidden library from a Victorian novel than a former military outpost. This adaptation proves that old structures can live new lives without losing their soul. While the Martello Tower is now Terry's private home, there's a rare opportunity to visit her on Heritage Week, the 16th to the 24th of August this year, when she graciously opens the doors to curious.